You can add customers via Excel or manually. For this video, we're going to enter a customer manually. Get into the Customer Center by clicking the customer's blue link on the home page. I can already see that there's one customer in here with not a whole lot of details filled out, but that's okay. You don't need a lot of information if you don't have it. Clicking on the customer on the left-hand side will bring up their information on the right. You could see all sorts of information here, such as a phone number, address, and you can get a map and directions to get to their house or place of business. The bottom of the screen will contain any transactions that you have for that customer. I can also filter it by a particular transaction type. For example, if I click the black triangle next to all transactions, I could filter it. I could only see estimates, invoices, or all received payments from that customer. You can also further refine it based on the date. If I click on the black triangle next to this fiscal year, I could change the date of the report. For example, I could even use these filters together to only see payments received from that customer last month. To add a new customer, it's important to note that this is one of the few centers in which we create a new customer from the top of the screen instead of the bottom like we're used to. I'll click New Customer and Job from the top of the screen, and from here, I'll choose New Customer. It's going to open up a dialog box, and from here, I can enter the customer name at the very top of the screen. I can put in their opening balance if they have one, and here's where I can put in more details about the customer. I can put in the company name. I can put in their phone number and other details. Down at the bottom, I can type their address. If I click the Copy button, it's going to copy the address into the Ship To section. I'll click OK. And now, let's head over to the tabs on the left-hand side. Here's where we can see the result of the customer profile that we filled out in the previous video. If I click on the Payment Settings tab, I can also enter in an account number for the customer. If I want, I can also set their payment terms. I can choose their preferred delivery of invoices and also their preferred payment method. I can even include their credit card information. And in a future video, I'll show you how you can secure this so that only certain users of QuickBooks have access to the credit card information section. Let's head over to the sales tax area. Here's where we can choose whether or not the customer is taxable or non-taxable. And remember, certain customers, such as nonprofit organizations and teachers, could be considered non-taxable. If you choose additional info, here's where you can choose the customer type. Now, if you forgot to enter a customer type before, or if you thought of a new one, it's okay. At any time, you can click Add New when you see it at the top of the list and put in your own new item. I'll make this one a restaurant. Click OK. And now our customer is done. Now that it's created, in the Details pane, if you click on the customer, you can see all of the details on the right. There's a few more things that I want to show you here. This is a restaurant. We have a business name, but there's no actual contacts here. And also, you could have multiple contacts for this restaurant. To add these, change to the Contacts tab directly underneath the customer information. From here, at the bottom of the screen, you can click Manage Contacts and then Add New. Here's where we can enter in a new contact for the restaurant. I can put in a particular phone number or an email address. I'll choose the primary contact type for Talia, and then I'll choose Save and New because I want to add in one more contact for this place. There's also a secondary contact. Now I can click Save and Close. I can see my two contacts for the restaurant. I can also add a to-do. If I change to the To-do tab, I can add a new one by clicking Manage To-dos and choosing Create New. I can choose what type of to-do it is, such as a call, an email, a meeting, or a task. In this case, I'll leave it as Call. It's with a customer, and it's at the restaurant. I could set a reminder for it, but in this case, I'll just put in the details. I'll click OK, and my to-do has been created. I can also put in notes about this customer. I'll change to the Notes tab, click Manage Notes, and choose Add New. Here's where I can type my note. I'll click OK. And my note has been created. It also gets appended to the top right-hand side of the customer information view. So at any time, you can go into the Customer Center, click on your customer, and toggle through these tabs to view to-dos, contacts, and any transactions that have to do with that customer. You can also add a new one at any time by going to the bottom of each screen, clicking the button, and choosing Add New. When I'm all done, I'll click the X to close out of the Customer Center.